Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. This is a series that we've been doing through the month of June, every Wednesday here on our YouTube channel. They're just videos that are helping us be encouraged in our health and well-being. So today I want to talk to you about stress. Okay, one thing I think we can all say that we have in our life. And I want you to think that you're carrying around this bag full of rocks, just like this one is here. Each rock represents a stress in our life. For each of us, it might be different. Family issues, health problems, stress at the job. But each of these rocks, as we carry it around, really weighs us down and leaves us exhausted. That's what stress does. But in scripture, in Matthew 11:28, verse 30, it says, "Come to me," this is Jesus speaking, "all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So many of us are carrying around a heavy burden, and often has to do with stress. So how can we actually exchange that for the rest that God shows us in scripture? Well, first, we need to acknowledge our burdens. We need to recognize that we all have stress. We're all carrying to some degrees, maybe not fully physical, real backpack, but we're all carrying around stress in our lives. So maybe there's some things that are causing extra stress to you, or maybe it's been more recent stress. I want you to write them down and maybe even talk to someone about them. Acknowledge that they are there. Then what scripture says is to bring them to Jesus. What does that mean? If we don't have a physical rock that actually does represent our stress, what do we do? Well, maybe that's coming before the Lord in prayer and saying, "God, I'm going to hand you my anxiety about my finances. God, I'm laying down this fear that I have around my job before you today." Maybe that's saying, "God, I don't know the future. I'm not sure what this health diagnosis means, but I'm going to lay it down before you and I'm going to trust you." Then as we do that, as we lay these things down, we actually need to start to set boundaries in our life. We need to think about, okay, what are the things in my life that I pick back up these rocks, or I pick back up these stress? Because maybe I've started to lay them down, but are there areas in my life where maybe I haven't set good boundaries, and so I quickly pick them back up, or I'm quickly weighed down by them again? So, what are 3 ways that you could lighten your load in life? Are there areas where you need to name that stress? Now you need to start to think, okay, how am I every day going to ensure that I'm not picking back up the weight of this stress? What can I do? For many of us, the burden that we carry is often weighed down because we just don't come to God with them, and we start to make decisions as simple as staying up too late when we know that we're tired every day at work, or isolating ourselves and holding things in and carrying these stress. So what changes should we make in our life that can create these healthy boundaries so that we aren't laying down one load just to pick another one up? I want to encourage you with setting boundaries is to start small. Begin by setting boundaries in just one area of your life where you feel comfortable. So then as you gain confidence, then you can expand your boundaries to other areas. For example, I want you to think today, I want you to write down one area of your life that adds to your stress or burden. So maybe you're having some stress about your future and your purpose, but you're realizing you're watching too much social media. Maybe it's a lack of sleep, or maybe it's an unhealthy work-life balance. What is a stress that you've allowed to carry that you actually need to lay down before God? Now, what is just one change that you can make in that area? So if you think you need more sleep, can you set a reminder 1 hour before your normal bedtime to remind you to go to sleep? Can you make a conscious effort to limit your social media time per week, and then you're renewing your mind in scripture and not in comparison or what's going on in other people's lives. These are ways, just one ways we can set healthy boundaries so that as we lay down the rocks before God, as we lay down the burdens that we're carrying before God, we are feeling a rest in our soul. That's what it's about. That's how we can actually begin to start to see the impact of stress in our life and actually begin to lay it down before God, not allowing it to weigh us down. So I want to encourage you to watch our interview with Connie Jacob. She is a mother, she's a professional, she's a coach, and she talks about a season in her life where she was going through so much stress because of the state of her son. And she talks to us about how she was able to overcome that through community, through people, and really laying it before God. So make sure to watch that. I know it's going to encourage you. And I just want to encourage you as well. If there's something that you've decided to do today from this video, I want you to write it in the comments below and share it with us. Again, we just want to encourage you. We want to cheer you on, and we want to take steps to better health and well-being.